there's so much bullshit about CRO online, whether it's on LinkedIn or Twitter. And so I thought about making a practical guide to help you basically identify the good from the bad and to tell if the person actually knows what they're talking about or if they don't. So whenever you see a screenshot like this with huge numbers like plus 400% increase in conversion rate, and the guy claims to add, plus $58,000 per month to his client, well, you need to check those three things. The first is, do you have the context of the test? This is super important because, for example, this one, it is an AA test. And an AA test, the two variants are identical. And so you may be thinking, well, why are we seeing such differences between the two variants if they're supposed to be identical, right? Don't freak out. It's not a tracking issue. It's not a bug on IntelliGems. It's just that when the data comes in a test, at the very beginning, it is not representative of the entire sample that you need to have a clear picture of the impact of the test. So this is perfectly normal when you launch a test. And very often people will take screenshot when the test just started, but it actually means nothing, which, like I say, it's very normal. Like when you launch a test with small data that comes in, the results can either dramatically go up or down, and it's perfectly normal. So if you see like minus 400% conversion rate, doesn't mean that you should cut your test. And this is the proof. Like this is an AA test. It could be the other way around, right? But we need to wait a certain amount of time. This is my next point. What is the test duration? Because every test has an estimated runtime that we define before we launch the test, and it is based on the required sample size and the target MD. So the sample size is based on the bandwidth of the page that we're going to test. And so if we want to go for, let's say, a plus 4% increase in conversion rate, based on your bandwidth, you will have to wait for either 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Like that really depends on the traffic you have on your store and the number of orders you also have on your store per week. So any screenshot taken before the duration of the test is done is incomplete. And this screenshot, I actually took it right after I launched the test. And so there's not even 24 hours of data in here, probably just like 3 or 4. That's why the data is completely flowed. And the third thing you should be really careful with is, do you have the data behind the test? Because here you can just see the uplift, right? So it's very easy to manipulate and tell, hey, yo, this is the results I'm getting for my clients. Work with me. You're going to get plus 400% increase in conversion rate. Most of the time, it's just not the case. And realistically, you will most likely never really see such increase with A/B testing. So the data behind the test, I mean, what's the number of visitors per variant? What's the number of orders per variant? And, all the rest. But those are like really the key elements that you want to have, at least when you see such screenshots. Because if you don't have it, then the screenshot means absolutely nothing. Like here we had 12 orders. So like I said at the beginning, it's a very tiny percent of the required sample that you need to have. So next time you see someone share an A/B test screenshot like this, make sure you can identify, again, the three things: context, duration, and data. And if you cannot, then, well, take the screenshot with a healthy dose of skepticism. And I just want to leave you with the fact that there are plenty of very good CRO agencies out there. And I hope that this guide helps you recognize them and basically tell which one are good and which one are just doing some fake case studies, and some of the time, like, they might not even realize that the test is not actually valid or accurate. So take care and see you in the next one. Cheers.